Greetings, greetings. I am Pierre, CEO and founder of True Essence Investors. You're tuned in to another episode. This is episode 6, where we're going to be going over understanding CMA. So, CMA is better known as comparable market analysis, right? And these are the details that you gain when it comes to running comps on properties like your subject property. So, one of the 5 rules we have is when you're running comps, you want to compare your property to properties that are within the same area or within the same division. Preferably, you want to compare your house to 2 to 5 other houses that have sold on the same street. Okay? And you want to preferably have them on the same street. All right? That's the best way you can get or even compare your property to other properties. All right. The second thing, you want to have properties that are similar in square feet, being 200 plus or 200 less than the subject property. So if the property is 1,200 square feet, you want to find houses that are 1,200 up to 1,200 or up to 1,400 square feet. Okay. No. You want to find properties that are 1,000 square foot up to 1,400 square feet. All right, 200 up, 200 down. Ours is at 12, so 1,400 is 200 up, and 1,000 is 200 down. You want to find properties that are 1,000 square feet up to 1,400 square feet. You stand in the good parameters. Once it starts to branch out there, your numbers, get kind of crazy. The third thing, properties must be compared to other houses that have the same bed and bath. So if it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, you need to compare that house to 3-bedroom, 2-bath houses. All right, with square footage that are 200 more, 200 less than the subject property. Number 4, you can compare your property in counts of 2 to 5. So like I said earlier, you can compare your property and have 2 to 5 other properties that look just like it, have the numbers, and then you add the total sold prices of each house that have sold by the number of properties that you could compare to. And then you divide that by however many number of properties you have. So if you have 5 properties, you add all of those sold prices. So however much they sold for, you add all of them together. It gives you a sum, and you divide that by, if you have 5, you divide that sum by 5, and that's what you get, your after repair value. So I'm going to go not into after repair value yet. I'm going to go deep into comparable market analysis real quick. And then in episode 7, we'll go over the after repair value and stuff like that. Some important notes that you want to take is these 9 things you want to take note of when you're doing comparables. Okay, number 1, the subject property address. You want to put your address that you have, your potential deal. Number 1, you want to write that down. Number 2 is listing price. When you came across this property, how much was it listed for? Okay, and then your after repair value, right? That's ARV, after repair value. You're going to take the number that you get with your comps. When you do your comps, you add all of them together and divide it by the number that you have. That's going to give you your after repair value, which is the number that your house could sell for after being repaired. All right. And you're going to take that number, and then you're going to do price per square foot times square footage. All right. Once you get that number, you're going to do number 4, which is the cost to sell, right? Which is 7% of your ARV. And in real estate, you have 3% that goes to your listing agent, and you have 3% that goes to your buyer's agent. And then you always put 1% towards closing costs. All right. So number 5, Jamel, what's good? What's going on? CEO of Jet Life Innovations. Number 5 is your renovation budget. You want to make sure when you're talking to your seller, how much is needed for your rehab so that you can renovate the house. All right. Do you need 10K? Do you need 20K or upwards? And then equity cap. Equity cap is your investor's profit. How much your investor stands to make off of the deal, as far as after you wholesale it, what is the investor looking to make? What is the investor's potential to make? So, and you got to keep this in mind. Investors want to make 18 to 20% of the ARV. So they want to get the house at a discount of 60 to 70% off, and they want to make 18 to 20% of the ARV. All right. So, and then number 7 is, this is where you come in at your wholesale cost, which is also known as your assignment fee. You could start with an $1,000 assignment fee, 5K, 10K, 20K. As long as the numbers make sense, you can make that, right? And that's what I love about this industry. All right. And then number 8, your offer, right? There's several ways to get to this number, but it's only one right way, right? You're going to make your offer based on the bid percentage of your listing price, right? Now, the listing price is only what the owner wanted to list it for, versus if he or she had a realtor or not. But your offer is divided by the listing price and what the seller is asking for. That's the asking price. So let's just say I have a seller who wants $131,900 for her house. As I was on the phone with her, asking her the seller questionnaire, she told me that, Pierre, I want 131,000, but I'm willing to go down to 125,000. So just being on the phone with her, she went from 131,900. In just 2 minutes of talking, she done already came down 6,000, right? So 125,000 is what she's willing to go to. But I did the comps, or I didn't do it. I have a team now, right? So instead of working in the business, I'm working on it. I'm able to train people to do other things so that I can focus on bringing more deals in, okay? But that's not this lesson. Go back to the first 2 episodes and you'll see where I was saying work on your business, not in it. You got to work in it now, but the goal is to work on it and position people. But to get back to what I was saying, she wanted $131,900 for her 2-bedroom, her 3-bedroom, 2-bath house in Dallas, Georgia. She said that she'd go down to 125. So she done went from 131 to 125K within a few minutes of speaking. I never told her to come down. She knows that she's renovated the house. So she's fixed it up. There really is not a lot of repairs needed. So I don't need a renovation budget. She's already fixed it. And really, I need to find out if this is a deal. She owes 50K. She owed 50K on the property. So since she owes 50K, I have to consider, okay, she wants 125, she owes 50. I got to consider certain formulas that we have in place, right? So when we go back to comps, right, you got to consider, now that you've studied and practiced, what questions to ask your sellers and your buyers. It is now to calculate the numbers. When it comes to understanding CMA, which is known as comparable market analysis details, if the numbers make sense, your seller will agree. They'll agree to sell at a certain price. Your buyer will buy at a certain price, and you will make what's known as your assignment fee. Now, after finding the property and obtaining the property details, it is now time to run your comps on the property. The goal here is to establish a skill set in comprehensive comparable market analysis, which simply helps us to determine the home's true market value, the home's value based on the properties alike the subject property. And this also helps us build the ARV, okay? Now, these are some terms you want to take note of. We already went over the 9 things you need to have as far as when you're looking at a property: the subject property address, which is 1, the listing price, which is number 2, the after repair value, which is the price per square foot times the square footage, or you can do the comps of the other properties in that area, add all the comps up, divided by that number of comps, okay? Number 4 is the cost to sell, which is where you're going to make your cut. And you got to consider 7% of the ARV, 3% goes to the listing agent, 3% goes to the buyer's agent, and 1% for closing costs. 5 is renovation budget. 6 is equity cap, your investor's profit, what they're willing to make. And they want to make 18 to 20% of the ARV. All right. And then 7%, number 7 is the wholesale costs, your assignment fee. How much do you want to make by providing the service of finding buyers for sellers and placing the property under contract with the seller and flipping the contract with the buyer? How much do you want to make? Do you want to make $1,000 doing this? Do you want to make 5, 10, 15? My goal is 10 to 15K per deal, okay? So with that being said, my goal started at 1,000, right? But as you move forward, as you close more deals, as you get more versed in this industry and you start learning just the numbers, right? When you learn the things as far as repairing, you're going to get there. All right. So, but number 7, you got to determine how much you want to make on your deal. That's your assignment fee. All right. Then 8 is the offer. What are you going to offer the seller? Right. And there's a formula for that. We teach you in the training. And then 9 is your asking price. So if you're really serious, I gave you 9 things to look for when you're talking to sellers. I gave you 8 questions to ask your buyers. I gave you 11 questions to ask your seller. And these things are going to come into play. So get ready. Okay, but these 4 terms, before I give you these four terms, if you're really serious about getting involved right now, give me a call at 404-454-859. I mean 5978. That's 404-454-5978. Okay, one more time. 404-454-5978. I have a training ready for you if you're ready to jump in, get some experience, get some checks, and just gain the knowledge, man. So with that being said, 4 terms. You learn CMA, that's comparable market analysis. This is also known as comps. We do comps to define and determine the property's value, right? Then you have market value. You can also call this market value. This is what's considered what a consumer will pay for the property, okay? So comparable market analysis, where we do comps, which helps us determine the property value, the value of the property. And then you have market value, which is considered what a consumer will pay for the property. All right, so there's 2 terms. The third term I need you to write down is total investment. Total investment is how buyers determine the investment cost of renovation and asking price, aka the investment price. So you're going to factor in your asking price plus your renovation. That equals your investment cost. And keep in mind, I have a course for this, so if I'm talking too fast, you can rewind it, take notes, but get involved. And last but not least, you have buyer's profit. The buyer's profit is the values that determine the buyer's estimated profit upon wholesaling it and then fixing it up for a bigger profit. Buyer's profit is what they're going to profit. So this is the point that when you're finding comps, right, you want to reach out to one of your friendly realtors. And keep in mind, in the earlier courses, when it comes to building your real estate team and assembling your real estate organization, I've already told you should have 3 of each profession. So 3 people for each profession, 3 realtors, 3 contractors, 3 attorneys, and so forth. When it comes to doing comps, you want to have your 3 friendly realtors ready. Like we have 3 here, we have 5 here. So you want to have them ready, right? And then you're going to ask them to run comps on your subject property. Some realtors will do one for you, one property for free. Some will ask you to pay them a few hundred. Some will partner with you and they look forward to partnering with you. All right, you want to partner with them, they'll be looking forward to partnering with you, and you can bring them several properties. So you want to make sure to connect with at least 3 realtors in your local market, because they will have knowledge that you don't. They will have access to the MLS that you don't, and they'll be able to give you viable knowledge on your local market. And some of the sites that you can use if you don't have realtors, that's the suggested way. Get you some realtors. But learning this for yourself, if you want to get values, you don't want to base these numbers off of true market value, but you can use these as reference points. You can use sites like, and I'm going to give you a few, so write them down. You can use redfin.com. You can use Zillow.com. You can use iComps.com. You can use Trulia.com. You can use Realtor.com. You can use RealEstateABC.com. You can use FreshComps.com. You can use TotalViewRealEstate.com. You can use FindCompsNow.com. You can use Appraisal.com. You can use FlipComp.com. You can use Propelio.com. You can use homesnap.com, and last but not least, PropertyShark.com. These are just a few sites that you can use to run comps on your subject property that you find. I want to welcome a few people. David Jones Jr. I want to welcome Celessa and Gaston. I want to welcome Noble Drew Bay. I want to welcome y'all. If y'all are very serious about getting involved with real estate investing right now, I have a training ready for you where we go over how to speak to the sellers, how to speak to the buyers, what are the contracts to use, and what are just the processes and procedures we got to do every day as far as communicating and connecting. All right. So in this episode, this is episode six. I'm losing track of what episode I'm on. I did like 6, 7 episodes. So this episode was episode 6. Just understanding CMA, which is comparable market analysis, how to run comps on properties that you find that sellers are selling so that you can finagle or just put some money in there or just make the numbers make sense so everybody wins. The seller wins, the buyer wins, and you win as the middle man and or woman. So if you just tuning in, rewind this video. I really went in depth. And like I said, when you're running comps, there's 5 things you want to focus on. You want to compare your property to other properties within that same area, right? In that same division. And number 2 is when you're comparing these properties, they must be similar in square foot. So you want to keep that range between 200 square feet higher and 200 square feet lower. So if the house is 1,200 square feet, you want to compare that house to other houses that range from 1,400 square feet and 1,000. Okay. So number 3, properties must also be compared by the same bed and bath. So if you got a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, you want to compare that house to other houses that have sold that have 3 bedrooms, 2 baths that range between 1,000 to 1,400 square feet. Makes sense. It's very simple. You can compare your property to at least 2 and up to 5. More than 5, that's more than that's more than enough information, and you can use it at your own disposal. All right, or discretion. Number 5, you add the total sold prices by the number. So if you got 5 homes that are being sold, that have sold, you want to add all of them up and get the median. So you add all of them up and you divide it by 5. So if it's 5 houses that sold for 100,000, that's 5 houses plus, just 100,000 times 5. That's 500,000 divided by 5, and that's your initial ARV value. All right, and providing proper CMA details. Getting into these details, the training goes in depth so that you understand how to do the numbers. So with that being said, this has just been episode 6, understanding CMA, how to run comps, finding comps, sites you can use. And yeah, you got 9 things you need to write down when you're dealing with the seller. All right. And considering your buyer and considering you. So with that being said, this has been another episode of True Essence Investors. We went over a real estate investing strategy, and this is just one of the secret formulas that you can gain within the course. So if you're serious about getting started, you can give me a contact. My contact is 404. I see we got some questions. 404-454-5978. And to end this out, tune in to episode 7. All right. So I'll speak to you all on the next episode. And Noble Drew Bay, can we buy a property with cryptocurrency? So when it comes to buying a property, you have to consider right now we're not focused on living in these properties. We're focused on placing them under contract, okay, with the seller. And the seller, most likely, we're going to offer them cash. So that question, we can tackle that on another episode. But this right now is about wholesaling, how we can connect with sellers, how we can connect with buyers. Now, if the seller welcomes it, we can have a conversation on can you accept payment through crypto. But you got to keep this in mind. In order for us to really make money, we have to have a distressed seller, somebody who's going through something and they just want to get rid of the house. And I don't know a lot of people who even know about cryptocurrency. But like I said, that's in another episode, and I'll be more than welcome to go in depth on can you buy a property with cryptocurrency. Of course you can, but you show me where those properties are. If you can deal with an investor or a buyer or a seller who understands it and they're welcoming it and they're knowledgeable, of course, why not? But if they're not knowledgeable, don't even waste your time. So Noble, get with me, contact with me. I got one more episode to do to finish up a 7-video series. Let me finish that. We can get on the phone and speak. And until next time, you all live life in peace, love, and harmony. And stay tuned for episode 7. Peace.